The old woman stared at the man who didn't give up his seat. The next second, her face suddenly collapsed into a black hole. Then the man found himself back at the start of that morning. At first he thought it was just a dream. He got dressed and headed to the subway. But the passengers around him were exactly the same as in his dream. When the train reached the next stop, an old woman walked in. She stood right next to the man, clearly waiting for him to give up his seat. The man didn't move. The train started, and the old woman lost her balance and fell. Then she stared straight at the man. Her face collapsed into a black hole again. The man was sent back to that morning once more. This was getting really strange. The third time he got on the subway, the same two passengers were beside him. Sure enough, the old woman boarded at the next stop and stood next to him. The man felt uncomfortable. After much hesitation, he finally gave up his seat. Luckily this time there was no time travel. He walked out of the subway station. A woman knocked over some bikes on the sidewalk. The man was in a hurry, so he kept walking. The woman knocked over another row of bikes. Then she looked at the man, and her face started to twist and distort. The man was sent back to that morning again. Here we go again. Now he understood. If he didn't do good deeds and help others, he would be sent back to restart the day. This time after leaving the subway, he went over and helped pick up the bikes. Then he went to the bank to withdraw some money. Just as it was his turn, a woman rushed in. She asked if she could cut in line because she urgently needed money for her sick son. Looking at the long line behind him, the man didn't want to give up his spot. But then he remembered what happened before. If he didn't help, he'd be sent back again. And sure enough, the woman's face was already starting to distort. The man quickly stepped aside and let her go first. Just as he thought, doing good deeds meant he could finish the day normally. Later, in an alley, he came across a couple fighting. The husband hid behind the man, hoping for protection. The wife held a stick and told the man to get out of the way. The man tried to stop the wife. Her face started to distort. Fine, he'd just hand the husband back to her. But when he did that, the husband's face also started to distort. This was a disaster. The man woke up that morning once again. This was just way too hard.